I always do sketches and doodles to stop overthinking about my art. I don't know if anybody can relate, but whenever I have an inspiration, I picture it first on my mind. I get all excited to draw. But when it comes to actual drawing, I really feel stuck. I feel like I'm not going to do a good job, and hence I overthink the hell out of it. But first, let's talk about the reasons it might happen. Reason number one can be you're afraid of blank page. If you have a blank page like this, it can be scary to start. There's nothing on the page and you have to make something beautiful in that page. I believe it's a lot of pressure. So it's a very reasonable emotion to feel. Another reason why people overthink their art because of fear of failure. To me, I feel this a lot. I have an idea and then I picture it in a way, but then I'm very scared to draw it because when I'll draw it, it might not turn out the same way. Always creates a lot of room for overthinking. Last time I drew was last week, so it's the whole week is gone already and I haven't really drawn anything. So today I'll just draw something here before I go and draw other stuff. This is the first tool that I will use. I will use this one and I will also use this one and maybe I will use this one. And I have a little bit of ink with me. Currently I'm just obsessed with this tool. Another way I like to stop overthinking is putting up timers and drawing with a timer. So I will either set a 30-minute timer or a 15-minute timer if I have less time. And basically I will try to draw something with that timer on. There are like 2-3 photos I really liked, but I'm just confused which one, compositionally which one will look nice. So I'm creating a little bit of quick sketch of all these photos that I really liked for the study. And yeah, whichever composition I think will suit best, I'll go and choose that one. So now we'll ink. I really love this medium. I think you know this. Another way you can stop overthinking your art is by doing spontaneous sketchings. Spontaneous sketchings are loose drawings that you can make either with a permanent medium or any kind of medium actually, but I like to do it with permanent medium. The reason behind, if you're using permanent medium, then there is very less areas to erase. If you make a mistake, you kind of have to work with it. And that is what I like about this type of spontaneous sketching. In today's spontaneous sketching session, I'm trying to find out compositions, working with different types of compositions and choosing from them whichever I like. So it's kind of like thinking with the paper and trying to do these type of sketches to find out the right composition for the final drawings. On the left hand of the screen, what you are seeing here, this is another example of spontaneous sketching. Here I did not use this paper for finding out composition, rather than just drawing loosely, getting some kind of practice, some doodle type practice here. In there, I did not use a pencil like I did it here. I did not sketch with pencil before to have a little bit of solid composition. Did not do that. It's mostly quick and very mindless. That's another way I like to do this type of spontaneous sketching, where there's way less thinking involved and all I'm doing is just putting marks on the paper. Of course, with a medium that is permanent. Since I work there with a time limit, my hand is moving really fast here, kind of trying to draw these things within the time limit. Now, obviously, it's not a race. You don't have to do it with a 15-minute timer because if you think way less time, you don't have to do it. Putting a timer is not so you make the drawing within the time limit, but so you can start. Nowadays, everybody is too much into phones and scrolling and doing other things, kind of pretending that they don't have time. And putting a short timer is like putting away your distractions and solely creating for just that time period. You can do what I did here using different types of nibs and brush. Add different line thickness. Some are medium line strokes, some are a little bit thicker and bold line strokes. Getting the emotions out of the paper through different types of lines. Process can vary from artist to artist, what they prefer, how they prefer to work, but mostly the idea remains same. You take a paper, either sketchbook paper or just loose paper, and start drawing. Maybe you have a reference, maybe you have no reference. Make marks on the paper. You can use multiple mediums, solidify the sketch a little bit, like I did in some of these sketches. But you can also just draw just with one medium, no, and very spontaneous, no sketching required at all. Another way I like to do this type of spontaneous sketches by not looking at the reference too much. So if I have a inspiration, I look at it once and then I stop looking at it. This is how I'm working here. I'm not looking at the reference because if I look at it, the compositions will turn out how what's there in the photographs, and I did not want to copy the whole thing. My ideas remain, my point of view remains fresh by just not looking at them too much. So I have it, but I put it aside and I just work. So that's why the likeness is not there. I don't really know if you can tell at all what I'm drawing, who actually I'm drawing. This is one of the most beloved periodic drama that I watched a million times, and I really want to watch it again. So I thought I'll just draw these two characters and make finished drawings out of them. If you know who they are, do let me know in the comment section because I don't think you can tell who this is. But in these spontaneous types of sketching, the likeliness is not what I'm looking for, even though when I'm going to draw them, I'll try my best to make them look like who they are. But here in these sketches, I'm not very concerned about making them look like the person. And I'm putting all my focus on trying to see the composition. Put focus on line work, thin, thick line works, negative space, all of those things that belongs to a good composition. One thing I like about this type of spontaneous sketching is that you can do it anywhere. You can travel and draw these type of sketches. I mostly like to do it when I'm traveling. This is also because you can just carry these small sketchbooks. This sketchbook right here is a 3.5 by 5.5 inch. So it's a very small pocket size sketchbook. So they're easy to carry. But not so this medium. For traveling and for carrying your sketchbook with you, I will recommend not to use this type of fragile medium. Glass dip pen is a very fragile medium, although it's very pretty. What I use instead is brush pen and fine liners. I have this whole collection now that's just small sketchbooks. I started it last year, keeping a small sketchbook seriously throughout the month. Now I completed 6 sketchbooks, so I'm continuing this whole collection of spontaneous sketching. I really, really believe that this is one of the best exercise or ritual, whatever you like to call it, that an artist can have. I truly believe sketchbooks are really good for artists, but not just so you can learn faster or improve at your drawing faster with the help of sketchbooks. That's obvious. When you practice a lot, you will improve. But beside that, I really like to keep sketchbooks like journals. You know how writers keep diaries or small journals with them. I keep sketchbooks like that. It will have a lot of spontaneous, subconscious paper with pencil thinking. So they are like mostly visual diaries. It's like keeping memories. You can go back and flip them and look at them. They will hold a lot of memories. What you felt that time, what happened that day. Always go to these types of sketchbook rituals and spontaneous sketching whenever I feel like I'm overwhelmed and I'm overthinking about my art. These rituals really help me to kind of find myself again and make it easier for me to create more art. For some people, this ritual can seem unnecessary and a waste of time. Why bother doing these when you can just jump into and do the final piece? But I truly believe that there are different types of artists and how they work is also different. But for someone, this is not the process. For me, this is how I work, this is how I am as an artist. Doing multiple sketches is how I make my finished drawings. Without these spontaneous, mindless drawings, I can't really work on my finished drawings. So, to have those works that I'm proud of, I need to have these type of works too. I didn't want to admit that I always kept it a secret, never really share these part of my process because I always wanted to. Anyway, I want to ramble here. The video is already really long, so I'll stop here now. I really hope you like this video. I really hope you enjoyed this session. Also, thank you to all my Patreons and their support for making this video happen. I'm eternally grateful for all your support and I appreciate it a lot. So it's not done yet. This is just first part of the process. So now I will go and see and choose which composition I really liked, which composition really speak to me, so I can make finished drawings out of them.